Alright guys, in today's video I'll be repairing the Seakeeper ride actuator. After 8 hours of use, it looks like the motor has seized up, and when you have to power off the system you can move the tab. You see how this one moves freely, and if you look at this one, I can't move it. The motor is seized, so I won't be able to move it at all. So this happened on the last trip, which was only 8 hours of use, which I'm surprised that it felt that quick. But I call Seakeeper and they have awesome customer service and their warranty is excellent. One actuator, look at that, send me the actuator, all the new connections, all of them, all the bolts, and a brand new replacement. Also, they send all the hardware to connect the cable again, so that's going to speed up the process to reinstall the motor. All right, to start with, we're going to remove this basket. Now remove the basket. Now you can see the anodes are working because you can see some wear on it. So the anodes are really important on this unit. See, this size is not seized because that's just a dummy leg, but this is the leg that is seized. This one doesn't move. This is just a dummy leg. There it is. Remove this. Look how that was sealed there. No water intrusion on that cable. Now to remove this is going to be a little quite tough, probably because this adhesive has been there already for over a week and a half. See if by pulling it, it's quite tough. I got this scraper. I'm gonna try to scrape around it. Without cutting the cable, because they need that cable on the unit, so that way they can troubleshoot it. Looks like it's coming out. It's quite tough. 4200 is a tough material. Alright, in this cable I already removed the shrink wrap, so now I have to loosen all this cable, take out the harness. Alright, remove this pin here, and we verify all these pins were correct. So it's not the connections, basically it's just the motor that's seized. They're quite tough to move them out. You know. Alright, so that's it. The port cable is ready to be retrieved. I got a couple of zip ties inside there where the wire goes. I need to also remove those with the plier. This wire has adhesive all over the place. I don't know if you remember when I installed it, I put some adhesive on the wire. Yeah, this is going to be the hardest job, is to pull this wire out of here, because once you put 4200 there, it makes that wire seal tight there. See that? Once you put 5200 through there, this wire is breaking right now. See, it broke already. It's not gonna come out. See that? It's definitely not going to come out. See, that's the problem with changing these motors, that when you put adhesive like this wire's not going to come out. And they specified in the return to return this motor with all the wires connections, but as you saw, it's impossible. It's impossible not to destroy the wire getting it out. Yep, this is not going to come out. Well, nothing we can do. We're gonna have to cut it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect all these wires back on and give it back to the manufacturer. At least connect it so they can test the motor, see what's wrong with it. Now we have to start removing all these bolts, and also remove the bottom bolts first. And remember, all these bolts, they need to go back in a specific torque. All right. I move it side to side till it comes up free. There we go. It's the actuator right there. All right, now we have to remove that marine adhesive and also the rest of that cable there. I got my brand new actuator here. Now I have to fish this wire because going through the transom is really difficult on this boat. It has stringers here, has a hole down here, so to get to it, it's pretty difficult. So I'm gonna try to fish it. 20 minutes just to get this hanger to the other side. 20 minutes. Something's cut in there. Here it is. Got it. Finally. Now I'm going to protect this wires. Put them in a small bundle like this. Get this line through here. Just like that. Now the cable could be fished right through there. Make sure this cover goes right through this slot right here. Right. Now we're gonna place it right in here. There we go. I'm not gonna tie them 100% now. I'm just gonna put a couple of bolts so I can put the wires right through the transom. And then later I'll come here and I'll torque all these bolts. I'll torque them in. Now I want to mark exactly where the wire has enough to play with. All right, it looks like that is enough there. Now I'm going to mark this wire so that way I know exactly where I got to push it in. So I'll put some adhesive in there and just drive it in there again. Pre-drill these holes again. Right, I made this little funnel right here with a 4200, so that way I can inject the 4200 in there. Now, like we did before, we're going to put a lot of adhesive so that way the wire takes it all in there. And this is exactly what's going to happen next time. It's going to suck all that adhesive in there, and then I won't be able to get that motor out of there. Once I get all that adhesive in there, right, now I can feed that wire in there. I know most of the adhesive will come out, but that's okay because we're going to put a lot more there. And remember, this is not under the water line. This is above the water line. All right, now we're going to put this cap back on. Alright, that's perfectly sealed. There's no water intrusion anywhere from the top. The bolts are completely also sealed. Now to hold this here, I'm going to use a small zip tie and hold this cable holder right here like this. Alright, that holds the wires in place. Now we start using the thread blocker. Put it by hand and later I'm going to torque them in. Alright, now we can put the scoop on. And the scoop gets tightened with 80-inch of pounds of pressure. Alright, now very important is to make sure this thing does not rub. Usually what I do is I put a piece of paper, and if this paper gets caught or pinched in any way, that means it's rubbing. Alright, see that? That means this is not pinched at all. Alright, so this is completely installed. It's already torqued in. Everything here is connected. Now I'm going to move into my favorite part, which is the wiring. Very important to put this shrink wrap for the connection. You see I have a pattern here for the colors. Alright, to start with this last two right here. This one, I'm going to plug it. I'm going to plug this other one here. Push it with this wire. Alright, so red goes here. The first one. You feel the connector is going to hold to it. Then it's going to be black. And then the purple goes right next to the green one. Green and yellow goes all the way in the bottom here. Alright, everything's connected. Now we're going to make sure we can see the pins. Yep, all the pins are visible. So you can see them right there. Alright, now we're going to put this shield here. Make sure all the wires are in. Alright. Now we can heat shrink it. Alright, all done. Look at that. All protected. Now we're going to connect it. We're going to reset the factory settings so we can start doing the programming again. So that way the system recognizes it. And since I have a new chart plotter, we're going to try the Seakeeper ride in the big chart plotter. Also, I'm going to use that one as my control device for the Seakeeper. Let's go back. We're going to go to settings. Alright, we're going to go, after going to service, going to go to factory reset. Enter. Factory reset faults, Seakeeper ride system. This advanced settings will disable the ride completely until commission is complete. Okay, I understand. Next. Reset. Okay, next. Next, I do have the upgrade already. Alright, we're going to follow the same directions. The boat needs to be level. No unnecessary people on the boat. Now we're going to go next. Next. It's finding everything. It's not going to find a keypad because I don't have a keypad. It's not going to find that other keypad too because I don't have the other keypad. Okay, we're gonna go next. Next. Select the number of engines installed on your boat. Okay, 1 engine. Next. Next. Select which direction of the software module is facing. It's facing bow. Next. It's critical. Well balanced. It is well balanced. Okay, calibrate. Now we can't move on the boat at all. You have to be very, very still. Even though the boat is in the trailer, we're going to be very still. Might take a little while. Okay, calibrate with check mark. Okay, next. Next. Alright, so it says right here, please disconnect all controllers from the distributor module. Okay, that's done. Next. Select the controller to configure. Let's go to the port. Okay, connect it. I'm gonna connect it. Alright, port controller connected. Next. Next. Okay, where are the cables at? In this case, the cable is port. Next. I'm gonna check that the plates are 0. All right, it is on 0. All right, it is a 0. Next. 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 All right, we're gonna try to see if it's moving. It's fully deployed right now. Next. Okay, I'm gonna check if it's 1 inch. All right, that's perfect. Okay, let's confirm 1 inch. Next. All right, to fully retract it. Next. Okay, I'm gonna check if it's fully retracted. Okay, confirm. Now we're gonna go to starboard. Next. Congratulations, you have successfully completed the installation. Finish. Okay, now go to the 3 lines up here, then you go to settings, and then trim command curve. Okay, that's gonna be 0 at 5 miles per hour, 80% at 10 miles per hour. At 15 miles per hour, we're gonna go to 70. And then at 20, we're gonna do 60. 25, we're gonna go 50%. Miles per hour, no need to use it because it's not gonna help with anything. Just after 10 miles per hour, it starts working a little. All right, so it's all set. All right, guys, to change the Seakeeper Ride actuator took me about 4 hours to change. That's including the programming and everything. And I want to give thanks to Seakeeper Ride for sending this motor replacement within 3 business days turnaround. The Seakeeper Ride team sent me a new motor so I can change it. So I want to give thanks to Seakeeper for their fast response and also their excellent customer service. The hardest part about changing an actuator is the 4200 adhesive that you have here in the transom is gonna snap the wire like it happened to me here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these wires together for Seakeeper. I'm going to attach each individual one to the rest of the cable so that way they can diagnose the down actuator to see what went wrong with this actuator, because it only has 8 hours of use and it looks in awesome conditions. And I'll keep you guys informed on how this new motor works. Should be perfect from now on. If you guys found this video helpful, how to change an actuator on your Seakeeper ride, doesn't matter if it's a 450 or the higher numbers, they're all the same, it's just a little bigger. And if you did find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and always navigate safe.